Algebra 2, 4-1, graphing quadratic functions. So a quadratic function looks like this. This is the form that we're going to be using. Ax squared plus bx plus c, where a cannot be 0. There are other forms of the quadratic equations, but this is the one we're going to use for this chapter. So this is a parabola. If I were to graph this equation, I would get a parabola. How do I graph a parabola? Step 1. Find the x value of the vertex. This is also going to give me the axis of symmetry. And the way we do that, x equals negative b over 2a. So here's a and here's b. Up here we just plug those values in to this equation. We get what x equals. That's the x value of our vertex, and that is also the axis of symmetry. Step 2. Plug the x value back in to the equation. To find the y value at the vertex. Step 3. Use a t-table. Plot some points on either side. And then connect the dots. All right, so let's do an example. G of x equals 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. So this 2 here is our a value, this 8 is our b value, and negative 3 is our c value. So first, our step 1, negative b over 2a. So 8 is b, so negative b, which is 8, over 2 times 2, which is a. Say x equals that. And so 2 times 2 is 4. So negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. So x equals negative 2. That is our axis of symmetry, and negative 2 is the x value of our vertex. Now we need to do step 2, which is plug negative 2 back into our original equation. So we say g of negative 2 equals 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 minus 3. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 8 times negative 2, which is negative 16, minus 3. Negative 16, negative 3 is negative 19, plus 8 is going to get me negative 11. So my vertex equals negative 2, negative 11. So I might not have drawn my graph quite long enough here. I'll go like that. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and negative 2, negative 11. There's my vertex, which is negative 2, negative 11. And my axis of symmetry is going to go like this. This is x equals negative 2. That's the line that is x equals negative 2. My axis of symmetry, that's where my parabola can fold over in half, right there along that line. Let's write axis of symmetry here. Okay. Now, our third step is to make a t-table and plot the points. So we're also going to want to talk about the domain and the range of this, but let's first plot or graph it. So I take my vertex and I put it right here in the middle, negative 2, negative 11. And then I choose 2 or 3 values that are less than my x value and 2 or 3 that are more than my x value or greater than my x value. And I try to choose fairly easy numbers. So I'm going to go, well, these got to be lower. So I'm going to say negative 3 and negative 4, and then negative 1 and 0. So 2 on each side, and I make them equal distant from the vertex on either side, and that way I can see my symmetry more clearly. So if I plug in 0, that's the easiest one. So I plug in 0 to my original equation, I get negative 3. If I plug in negative 1 to my original equation, negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, so 2, and then times negative 1 here times the 8. So 2 minus 8 is going to get me a negative 6, minus 3 is negative 9. Now, I'm also going to plug in the negative 3 and the negative 4. And if I were to do all of that work, you would find that I get a negative 9 here and a negative 3 here. And you can see the symmetry here, hopefully, on the x and the y values. So now I'm going to plot these points. Negative 1, negative 9 here, negative 9 is here. And negative 3, negative 9, that's right there. And then 0, negative 3, and 4, negative 3. And then I've got my parabola, looks like this. There we go. And we have graphed a parabola. Now my domain, I look at what x values are included on this graph. This is going to go up and up forever and left and right forever. So my domain going left and right forever is negative infinity to positive infinity. My range starts, it's not going to go up and down forever, it's only going to go up forever because this is the minimum value. So it goes from negative 11 with a hard bracket because negative 11 is included, and then all of the y values above negative 11 are included, positive infinity. All the y values below negative 11 are not included. All right, let's do a few more examples and we'll call 4-1 done. F of x equals x squared plus 2x minus 4. So I'm going to start with x equals negative b over 2a. So I've got negative b, which is negative 2, over 2 times a, which is x is 1. Or not x, sorry, a is 1. So that means I have negative 2 over positive 2. X equals negative 1 is going to be my axis of symmetry. So negative 1. X equals negative 1, there's my axis of symmetry. And I'm going to plug negative 1 back in, that's a step 2. to find what y is when x is -1. So I just plug -1 in for x, and I get +1 here, -2, -4. 1 minus 2 is -1, -4 is -5. So my point, my vertex is my x value, which is -1, my y value, which is -5. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my vertex, -1, -5. And now I just need to do a t-table. And -1, -5. I'm going to pick two values that are lower or less than -1 and two values that are greater than -1. Plug 0 back in first because that's the easiest, -4. Plug 1 in. So 1 plus 2 is 3 minus 4 is 3 minus 4 is negative. What? Did I say that right? Oh, I'm doing this one right here, right? Okay, yes. So I plug in 1, -3 minus 4 is -1. Phew, okay, tripping. All right, if I plug in -2 here, then I get 4 minus 4, which is 0, minus 4, which is -4. If I plug in the -3, I'm going to get -1 as well. So let's plot these points now. 0, -4 is right here. -2, -4, right there. -3, -1, and 1, -1. Draw my parabola. Notice how my parabola does not come to a vertex point at the bottom here. I'm not drawing this. It's a curved line here. Okay, domain and range. So my domain is going to be -infinity to +infinity again, because I've got x values for infinity to the left and infinity to the right. My range is going to be, I'm going to look at this point, and I can see my y values here start at -5 and then go to +infinity, like that. All right, we got 2 u-tries. Let's do one at a time. F of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 2. All right, use the 3 steps, graph this, and then unpause the video once you're done. Pause now, go. All right, let's see how you did. X equals -b over 2a. So I've got -4. So I'm going to have -4. -4 is my b value. And then a is 1, so I've got that there. -4, that's +4 divided by 2. X equals +2. Now I'm going to plug 2 back into my original equation. And that's what that should look like. 2 squared is 4, minus 8 plus 2. 4 minus 8 is -4, plus 2 is -2. So my vertex is +2, my x value, and then when x is +2, y is -2. There's my vertex. Let's plot this guy. -2. There's my vertex. And now I need to do my x and y t-table here, put my vertex here in the middle, 2 less and 2 more. Plug in 0, that just happens to be working for this one as well. If I plug in 0, I end up with +2. If I plug in +1, I get 1 minus 4, which is -3, plus 2, -1. And then if I plug in 3, I get 9 minus 12, which is negative 3, plus 2, which is negative 1. If I plug in 4, I get 2 as well. And we're going to continue this in the next video.